Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm John Dietz, speaker, trainer, coach, and business builder with eXp Realty, owner of Dietz and Dietz Real Estate Consultants, and also John Dietz Coaching. And today I have the privilege, oh my goodness, to interview one of my favorite people, Victoria Melton. Uh, I've been working with Victoria now for a little bit over a year. She was already a part of eXp when I made the move, so unfortunately, she's not technically a part of our team, but she kind of adopted us. So, Victoria, how are you today?
Good. Actually, you guys adopted me, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
So, I'm doing good. I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, let's pick up right there. So, tell me what you got going on. What is it that's got you so excited?
Well, we've been coaching together for almost a year and a half. And last year was monumental in different ways, transitioning from a buyer's agent to more listings.
Mm,
And so we've covered that before. First, I think 3 months of coaching, my listings tripled from the year before
okay.
for in that time frame.
Okay.
This year we're up 30% again. But on top of that, we talk in our coaching calls about production and where I'm at. And we kind of came together and noticed that by June,
Yeah.
I will have already beaten last year's numbers completely. So
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty exciting, especially as a solo agent.
That is exciting. In Victoria, unless the housing market in the Triad, the North Carolina area, I'm still learning what this Triad thing means, but tell everybody where you are.
I'm in the Winston-Salem area, and the triad consists of High Point, North Carolina, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Greensboro, North Carolina.
Okay.
And so it's just the group of these three small cities, and it's right in the middle of Raleigh, North Carolina, which is one of the fastest growing cities, and also in between there and Charlotte, North Carolina, which is also one of the top three fastest growing cities right now. So we're cashing out right in the middle. It's a great place to invest.
I
Super
love
great place to invest.
I love that. Okay, so before we finish today, let's make sure that any potential buyers and sellers out there and real estate agents who have referrals for you are able to get a hold of you.
Absolutely.
So, how's the market there?
Market here, depending on price point, if it's our average home is 289,000, average family, single family home. If you have something in that price point that is move-in ready and not a fixer upper, we're still seeing multiple offers.
Okay.
Anything over that, the average days on market right now are 23 days on market.
Mm,
Um, so and my goal with my sellers is to beat that average days on market and get
mm.
under contract quickly and plan a strategy for our marketing, how we're going to attack, the sale of their house. And so far so good. We're coming in under that average days on market.
In my experience, whenever a market is 20 days or less, homes are selling quickly, they're selling for top dollar. Listings are not necessarily easy to find. They're kind of hard to find. And yet, you're taking more seller listings than you have in your entire real estate career. What's your secret?
My secret is really it's connection, it's building relationships. If I go in for an expired listing or for sale by owner, I already have a plan for their home. Like the goal as a realtor is to get in the door, build that rapport, but I like to go in ahead and look at the last listing and to see
Hmm.
maybe where was the problem, especially if it's a really good house.
Yeah.
Um, and so I do expireds. I actually have an expired listing appointment today. I have a for
Hmm.
sale by owner listing appointment today. Um, I get a lot of past client referrals.
Yeah.
I do keep those relationships strong, and and there are times that I go in and I say, hey, this is what I'm doing today. This call is about business today. Um, and say I'm building, my pipeline for spring or summer. Who do you know?
Hmm.
And who do you think I could help? Because I want it to be a good match for both.
Yeah,
And, someone always knows someone. So you really have to
yeah,
have it's a lot of conversations,
that's
a lot
right.
of conversations.
That's right. Talk to me about agent to agent referrals for a moment. So, a lot of real estate agents are looking for referrals, of course, and we want to build relationships with other agents across the country. But one of the things that we have at EXP that's extremely unique, and you've really taken advantage of it, is agent to agent referrals on Workplace.
Yeah. So at EXP, I think a couple other brokerages offer this workplace. It's like Facebook for your work, your colleagues and everything. And you have Facebook groups. And when I first started, I had no idea how to get leads. I had no idea what a CRM was. I knew nothing. But I did notice that on this workplace group, you have several pages to get education from, to learn things from, and other agents teach in this platform. And then as I started navigating it, I noticed there were probably over 20 referral pages. You
Hmm.
have global referral pages, you have national referral pages, you have state referral pages. Um, and so I learned the algorithms of Workplace, and I noticed you really have to open the app to get notifications. You have to be present in there in some way. But what's great is you can set notifications just for the things you want. It's not everything. So you can mute pages, mute chats, all of those things. So on my phone, I only have notifications for those referrals. And when I see my area, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I can get it. And so I built a lot of great relationships in our company, and, not just workplace, but events. I you kind of listen to people talk about how they invest. Realtors are some of the best investors, right?
Yeah,
They're using their license to build themselves a portfolio. So
sure.
what I do notice is California agents have a lot of cash flow and 1031 exchanges. So I will go to events and especially gravitate towards our West Coast agents
Okay.
because it's so much more expensive there. And North Carolina is such a great place to invest. And the growth in my small area in the next 3 to 5 years is going to be huge. So I introduce myself, and what do realtors like to talk about? Themselves,
Right.
their jobs, and you kind of listen and just pick up and say, oh, you invest? Let me share this with you. And there was one event in Florida. We were at Shareholders. This is actually when I met you in person the first time. Went to get a seat at the pool bar to eat lunch and work a little bit in between sessions, and had an agent introduce themselves, and we put in an offer on a townhome. We had it rented before it even closed.
That's amazing.
So so it's very, it's going with a purpose, and these events are so easy to get lost in. Know
Mm.
where you're going first. You have to be bold, and I'm super introverted. So me introducing myself to people is very out of my comfort zone,
Mm.
but it's business and everyone is there for business, right? So it's it's a no-brainer for me.
Great job. Love your answers. And I hear that Workplace is an amazing opportunity that we have to refer business within the company. And I know that you've closed quite a few deals through Workplace. So it's had tremendous value to you. And you're attending these events like Shareholders and EXPCon, and then the local events like the regional events, like the regional rally, which we just had, of course. And you're creating business by attending these events, but that's happening because you go with an intention. You know what your goal is before you go. Talk to me about coaching for a moment. So when you and I first met, I think one of the very first conversations we had was you reached out to me to chat to discuss the possibility of coaching with me. And I think we're going on, I don't know, what is it, a year and a half?
About a
Okay.
year and a half.
How has that been a part of your growth?
So what was really cool is someone else was promoting your Survive to Thrive group
Okay.
script reading. And the one thing I noticed is the one thing everyone doesn't likes to do the least, calling,
Hmm.
scripting, calling. And I thought, but what I observed over, I had been in real estate. I was finishing my third year when we met, and I was so close to iconing.
Hmm.
And I didn't know how to transition my business, and I was looking for a coach, but there wasn't a coach who I had met yet that has been where I want to go. And I think not all coaches are equal,
Hmm.
and they're not all the same. And I was really watching and listening for someone who had been a listing agent successfully. And what did they do? So I got into that Survive to Thrive group, and we rehearsed and we practiced, and I was like, oh my gosh, this stuff is working. And I was so anti against scripts, but what it helped me do was talk the language of real estate without talking in circles and getting nervous. It wasn't about being robotic. I'm the same person. I'm gonna joke around with you regardless, but we need to get down to the meat of why we're here. And that helped me cut down my listing appointments in half.
Yep.
And so when I started asking you questions or just listening to your story, I was like, here's someone who has been a successful listing agent for years. And you said you never worked with a buyer.
No.
And I was just like, done. This is what I need. So I did message you, and graciously you took me on, and I'm grateful because I knew if I was going to invest in that, I was just going to do what I was told. I still knew nothing. 2.5 years in the business, I still felt brand new. I still felt there's so many layers in this industry that one, you're not ever going to know everything, but two, I needed someone specific in the direction I wanted to go. And I knew if you had been there, I was just going to do what you told me and not ask questions. So here we are. And I did Icon. We went, and I say we because we started February 1st. I had till March 31st to Icon, and you pushed and pushed and pushed, and we hit the goal. So
That's a great segue into the last question that I have for you. So, talk to me for a moment about equity ownership and what that means for you, what it's done for you. And as an icon agent, how does that affect the equity ownership you have in EXP as an owner?
Really, my answer is pretty simple. It's like a built-in savings account for me.
Okay.
It's just an extra on top. Um, I feel like EXP in that ownership actually has given me a voice in the company, and
Hmm.
I'm really no one big to have a voice, but yet they give me one, right? Like I started here brand new from nothing, and I have all these high producers, and I still have much bigger producers around me, and that pushes me. But when you get into this company, if you want a voice, you're going to get one. If you want to be quiet and put your head down, you can do that too. But
Sure.
where the stock compensation comes in is if I ever have a lull, I can pay my bills.
Yeah.
Went through September through December, actually end of September through December with no closings, and I had hit a wall. I had very much just, I wasn't quitting, but I'd had enough of just, I'd run into some not so nice realtors,
Mhm.
not so nice clients, and I was just burnt out on the mental game of it.
Sure.
It's very draining if you're not taking care of yourself. So, and I remember that stock kind of helped me carry through. I mean, I had enough, but just knowing it was there. And now after 4 years, and I have to say, it's really the last 2.5 years that's built me almost a 6-figure portfolio in that. And a lot of that I can roll around and cash out. I can buy other stocks with it if I want. It's not all vesting stock. And to me, that's a game changer. If I wanted to take a whole year off right now, I could roll it over and take a year off and be fine.
That's
Am I
amazing.
gonna do that? No. But
It's amazing.
yeah, it's huge. It's a huge deal. And that's where, I've always said, I know I'm my own brand. My brand is how I take care of my clients. It's how I do business. But where I do business at EXP means something because that's who takes care of me in the process. So it is a big deal.
All right, last question. We start every day with the Deets real estate consultants with a morning huddle. And when I share that with people, sometimes I get a response like, every day, is it mandatory? Do I have to go? And my answer is always no, it's not mandatory. You do not have to show up for morning huddle, yet you're there 90% of the time, Victoria. You're in that huddle. Why is that so important to you?
It gets me at my desk early. It kind of organizes. I'm very ADHD, and I'm not taking anything for it. And if I can stick to a schedule and I can attack my day, right? So if I start with our group, and I love our group, I love everyone in our group, and they push me as well. And it's 15 minutes. Half the time I come in from the gym, some come in from working out, or some are already at the beach for the morning, and we do our call. And in the wins and in the rocks for the day, you're also pulling ideas from other people without having to go in deep discussion. And then it leads to, after that call, sometimes we call each other, hey, I heard you say this. I heard, what does this mean? What are you doing? And so it built that 15 minutes, not just sets your day up, but it builds other things outside, other referral partners or other collaboration ideas, because we're all, even the ones in the same area, we're all helping each other. And so for me, when I'm not on there, my day is a mess. It's scattered, it's a mess. So starting my day like that puts it into perspective. And I literally can sit at my desk, get my lead gen done, and go to my appointments and pick my son up from school every day. I think this year I've probably not picked him up 5 times total. So that's a huge win for me.
I love it. I love it. Well, Victoria, thank you so much for the opportunity to chat with you today. That was an awesome interview. If anyone out there that's watching this video wants to reach out to you, can you share with us how somebody can get a hold of you?
Yeah, my email is victoriamelton5@gmail.com, or you can text me 276-733-4093.
There you go. Hey guys, if you want to reach out to me, you want to get on my calendar, you want to talk about coaching, you want to talk about the EXP opportunity, I would love to connect you with Victoria. Contact information is below the video. Call me, text me, email me. Let's get together. Victoria, thank you again.
Thank
Such
you.
a privilege to be your coach, to be in a business relationship with you, and most importantly, to be your friend. For all of you out there who joined us today, thank you so much. And as always,